What's going on, you guys? And today I'm bringing you another review, and this time we're reviewing Nailbiter. Alright, so Nailbiter is out on Redbox, and I go to Redbox to rent horror movies or really any movie. Very rarely will I go to the movie theaters, or will I get, very rarely will I go to the movie theaters, because you don't know if the movie's gonna be good or not. And I show respect to those movie reviewers on YouTube who go to the movie theaters, pay $7, $8 plus pop, snacks, and drinks, and to find out the movie isn't that good. I would never do that, but I will wait till it's at the dollar theater or if it's at Redbox, because if it isn't good, at least I've wasted $1.29. But let's get into the movie. Nailbiter, the plot is this family. It's a mother who has 3 kids, and the mother's a drug addict, and so is one of the daughters. And there's another daughter who is just very weird. She's, super hyper, and of course there's the last daughter who is nerdy, who is shy, who's always in her room reading books and will hardly talk to her mom or any of her other sisters. Well, their father's in the military and he's coming home, and they're gonna try to, get to the airport, so that way their father will be able to see them first, because that's what the mom wants, is for the father to see them first instead of some hotel person. And that was a really cool thing that she said, it's so true. There's in the beginning, there's the weather, and it's talking about a tornado coming in Kansas City. I think this is where it takes place. And the mom refuses to stop, refuses to wait and let the storm pass. So she tries driving through it, and then, it starts hailing big ice balls, and they're forced to pull over, and they see this abandoned house, and they knock, and they're, yelling for help, saying that they need to get in, and they find the storm cellar, I think, and the mother breaks the lock, and they get in and shut it, and then you hear the tornado going through, and then, the tree knocks over, and now they can't get out. So throughout this whole movie, they're trying to find a way out, but then it's not too long when they realize they're not alone, on the property, because there's something trying to kill them. And there you have your movie for Nailbiter. Yeah, that's the plot. Now, what do I think about this movie? I think this movie was not so good. The trailer looked way better. That's the only reason I rented this movie, is because the trailer looked really good. And I decided to look at some reviews, and half of them were saying that it was not good. It was cheesy, and I sort of wanted to be the judge of that for myself. Well, as disappointed as I was, I do have to say it is a little entertaining. What else? It was okay, some gore. Not a lot. For a, thing trying to eat them, there wasn't a lot of gore. And, the movie doesn't explain why the creatures were there, why were they, around, what were they doing on the property. One of the characters is an old lady and this, sheriff, and they're acting innocent, and they're the ones holding these creatures, and they don't go too much in depth of why the creatures were there, why they're, doing the things they were doing, but you could actually tell that this is a low-budget movie. You could really tell, the tornado coming in, it didn't look very good. It looked sort of good, it didn't look very good, but, you don't get to see the creature a lot, and when you do see it, it sort of looks like a goblin. That's about it. from my eyes, that's what I saw. You know what it looked like. I was like, it looks like the Goblin, and and it's that tiny thing, because there's this movie deserves to be spoiled, so I'm throwing spoilers. If you don't want to hear the spoilers, you want to watch the movie, let me tell you this, you're going to waste your $1.29, so just stay for the spoilers. There's really no point in going and getting this, because I've given away half of the movie. Alright, so there's this one part where the mom and the older daughter see this creature tied up on chains and it's trying to claw at them, and the mom smacks it in the face. And you can see how cheesy it is, because it has a board and she's all slow motion. She's doing it all slow, and you don't even get to see the Goblin getting hit. You just see the board swinging, and then you hear the Goblin screeching. And for a low budget movie, yeah, you can expect this. And then there's another scene where this cop finds the family in the cellar, and he's like, grab my hand and I'll help you out. And then the younger daughter's trying to grab his hand, and then he starts screaming and he gets dragged out, and you just hear him screaming and the creature's all eating him, and you don't get to see that. You just see his hand all covered in blood after. It wasn't very good. And like I said, it didn't make sense on why the creatures were there. And then towards the ending, it got a little exciting. Not really. It got more exciting than it was before. But still, like I said, it didn't make sense. They didn't give background on the creatures. At least they could have talked about the creatures, what they were doing. But no. That wasn't the case. They just threw in this creature just because they wanted to make this really, really not very good movie. Was it worth the hour and a half? Oh, yeah, I was sort of entertained. It didn't meet my expectations. Actually, I had very low expectations. Okay, so here's my expectations. I don't know if you can see this, but it's way up here. My expectations for this low-budget movie was down here, and this movie really didn't even meet that. It was way down here. So I do have to rate this from 1 to 10. I am going to give this a 3, just because of how bad it was. If you do want to check this out, go ahead, feel free. I'm not saying don't. But, I'm just saying, you are more than welcome to be my guest, and I do want to hear about it, and put your comments down below what you thought about this movie. This isn't the worst movie I've seen, but, there were some movies where I went to bed wishing I could just throw the DVD in the garbage disposal and then but this movie was a little entertaining. Still not very good. Entertaining, yeah. If you're looking for a cheesy horror flick, go ahead. I want to hear what you think, and that is all for today.